Hey guys, Board Bob here. So we are back with Factorio Seablock Revisited. Last episode we set up the power plant, we did some research and what have you. Off camera, I went ahead and I increased our power plant because we're definitely going to need more power. We've got plenty of power now for a while. Um, we've also got plenty of fuel production. Although this is all going to go away very soon, probably within the next couple of episodes after this one, as we change over to strictly green algae production. Right now, our algae is producing both green and brown, and that's the problem because, what do we do with all this brown excess brown algae? And right now it is excess. We will be using it later to make paper, to make circuit cards and things like that. We're going to build onto that. So at some point, this is all going to get ripped out yet again and thrown away. And that's one of the things with C block that I find myself that I do a lot is because of the lack of room and the increase in technologies and better production. I tend to rip stuff out. Now in the normal game, I wouldn't do that. I would just leave this and walk off and into another space and build better. But in C block, you don't have that option because you're out in the middle of the ocean. You're kind of stuck. So I'll build something, use it for a while, and tear it out when I get something better. Um, Part of that is why a question came up. Why didn't I do charcoal instead of wood bricks? Um, and the short answer was basically I just didn't. Would have added another level of complexity to the assembly. Yes, it's more energy and less resources, but this is all going to get ripped out anyway. Um, like I say, with this particular mod, I tend to rip stuff out, and a lot of stuff is temporary. I don't get married to any of it. Um, so this is all going away, and my eye in a lot of this early building, that's my eye kind of is towards temporariness. So that's the deal there. So off camera, I went ahead and I built out a big area for building for our next thing because part of changing this over, along with needing the charcoal, is we're going to need mineralized water to do just plain green algae. And the only mineralized water we're making right now is just this little bit here, which is funding our research and it's funding our copper and our iron plates that we need, but is nowhere near what we're going to need to be able to do all of this. So we're going to expand this operation. At some point, we will have a better way of making copper and iron plate. Excuse me, but for right now, we're just going to expand. The other part of that is in order to build that area, I needed a lot of sand. We only have the one sand operation going right now. We are going to expand this um, for two reasons. One, so that we can make more dirt, to have more land, to make more dirt, to have more land. The other one is it'll give us geode production, which is going to start letting us have some of the other stuff. So let's start off with our tech. Um, Last episode, I did do the military research so that we could have radars, and we're going to put some radars out maybe this episode if we have the time. Um, but that now gives us gun turrets, but gun turrets really don't give us anything other than Spidertron, and tech-wise, Spidertron is a long ways away. So we're not going to worry about Spidertron right now. Uh, we're not going to worry about stone walls because, again, that's not going to do us any good there, really. What we're going to do is we are going to grab the fluid controls, and I've already got my research kind of queued up here. Fluid controls is going to give us valves that we're going to be able to regulate our the amounts of fluids and gases that we have. So rather than burning off like all of our oxygen if we need it, we can say, okay, burn off only the excess. Next is sulfur production. Sulfur production is going to open up slag processing. Slag processing is going to give us a better way to make our iron plates and our copper plates and things like that. So we're going to open up, we're going to do slag processing. That's here. Next one is coal processing. Coal processing is going to give us coal, or going to give us carbon. We can do some stuff with that. We'll be able to do electronics, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to go ahead and just grab it while we're here. Nitrogen processing, I'm not going to do yet because it's really not giving us a whole lot right off the bat. It's giving us air separation and ammonia synthesis and compressed air and this air filter. And eventually we're going to want that, but I don't think right this second we need it. Weapon shooting speed, I really don't care about. We're not up against the biters yet. I already touched on slag processing. We're going to do slag processing. We're going to want logistics so that we have the faster belts, but I'm not going to do that right now. First, I'm going to do mechanical refining. That's going to give us a better way to get that's where our route to our better copper and iron plates. So we're going to take that. Basic solder casting, we're going to want that, but I'm going to jump over that. I'm going to jump over ore silos and go to water treatment, because that's going to open up some of the brown algae processing. It's going to open up washing 2, which is going to start getting us our geodes, which is what we're kind of looking forward to, because geodes will allow us to make other things and what have you with them. And then finally, steel processing, because steel processing is going to lead us to steel axe, which is going to allow us to pick all this stuff up faster, and get rid of the stuff that we're not going to leave. So we might as well go ahead and start towards that, and that's where we're at. So the first thing we're going to do is let me make a blueprint of what we've got here already. And let's get rid of that one. And we're going to get rid of these two. And we're going to get rid of all of that. Great blueprint. Let's see what that looks like. Yep. Okay. So there we go. So then we got the basic plant there. And we're just going to, this seems to be working pretty good for now. We're going to go ahead and use it. Only we're going to increase how many of them we use. Now I've got this set of pipes here because I kind of tried to divide as best I could between where I want to put those and where I want to put my sand production, in order to be able to kind of figure out how far up I had to go. So let's go ahead, and we're not going to put it right on that. Okay, that's not the goal. We're going to come up a little bit just to give ourselves some wiggle room between the two of them. And we're going to put that down, and then we're going to put the next one down, and we're going to share these pipes, these water pipes. So let's make sure these are lined up. One of the things you notice is these two, they're offset because this stuff doesn't tile well. So when I'm putting this down, I kind of want to be careful that I'm putting them down offset, because otherwise, you know, you stair step it and you'll be out here somewhere. So there and there. Cool. So that's going to give me some working room around it. If I have to, I can add some more land, but I'm hoping I don't have to. The other thing I'm hoping, I try to do a count, and I think I have enough of everything with maybe some little bit extra. So we're going to go ahead and lay this stuff all down. And I imagine there are probably better ways to design this. This is just the way I'm doing it. It works for me. Like I say, the one thing that I have learned after, 5,000 or so hours of Factorio and what have you, is that I don't think there's any wrong way. I mean, I can't say there are no wrong ways. I mean, there's some really stupid ways that you could do this. That everybody, I think, would agree would be wrong. But I don't think there's any real quote unquote wrong way to do this game. I think as long as you are having fun and enjoying yourself, then you are playing the game right. Everybody's got a different way of doing things. Anybody who has been around this channel for long enough knows I am not one to do things like sweating ratios. I try to stay, reasonable about it, but I am not going to get wrapped around the axle about things that, frankly, don't impact my life enough to force myself to stay up at night worrying about it. 58 years old. I've got better things to do with my time than worry about things like that. So if it works for me, it works for me, and I'm happy with it. And what usually ends up happening in that regard with me for Factorio, and even it was the same way with space exploration. I tend to, rather than worry about ratios, I tend to brute force things. I will produce huge overkill amount of things rather than spend hours worrying about correct ratios, because at the end of the day, I just want it to freaking work. So if it works, I'm not losing sleep over, the perfect ratio. Just no sense to me to do that. Now, in SpaceX, that can potentially be an issue because you do find planets with very limited resources. This game, we're making the resources out of seawater. So yes, it may take a little longer, and we may have to wait and not be able to do it like right away. Like it took me a little bit of time to get all the sand to do this expansion, but eventually it came to us, and I don't mind the wait. I got nothing better to do with my time. I'm retired. I sit around the house on my ass a lot. I'm not teaching anymore. I miss teaching, but I have the time to let it do it. I'm not trying to finish Factorio in under 8 hours. I have attempted the there is no spoon achievement several times, and I have come very close. Closest I got was less than a half an hour away from getting it. But I like a nice casual, calm, easygoing game. I'm doing it this way so I don't have to flippy floppy back and forth. So if it ends up taking me a little extra room and I make a little bit of extra stuff, then so be it. I don't care. I'll always find a place to use it later. Right? Now that's not to say that I'm not open to suggestions or better ways of doing things, because again, like I say, you know, even after 5,000 hours, I am certainly no expert. I don't claim to be. I don't try to be. So there are, I'm sure, better ways to do certain things. And I got no problem implementing them. If they work for me, if they, you know. So don't hesitate to say, Bob, you're screwing up, or you're screwed up like a soup sandwich. Because heck, I know I'm screwed up like a soup sandwich. All right, so now let's connect these so that we can share all of our oxygen to one discharge. All right, so that's the water coming in, so we just need to go that far. All right, so maybe we'll go that far, just to have them even. So that one goes to there, that one's to there. Right? And that should give us down to there. Now we want to do water. And since water comes up, we can't do it there. We got to go out by one space. Right? Water comes all the way up. And I'm hoping that I can feed all of this with one water pump. I don't know. We're going to find out. Now, I know I don't have these buildings. They're down here still in the factory. We're going to move that up here. So, let us now do... Excuse me. Right. Now we may change this. I'm just doing them, combining them together for now, so that we can take them back down here and insert them into the factory where we're going to get rid of this. Because we're going to get rid of that. Frack. I think that was the one that we can go one further. Yes, it is. Okay. So let's do one there, one there. There we go. Because if I did them side by side, they'd want to connect these two pipes together, and then it would yell at me because I'm trying to put them both in the same place, and that would be a problem. All right, so now let's go up here, connect all our plans together. Okay, so there's that one. So then if we go here, that connects to that one, which connects to that, which comes down here, connects to that. So if we go here, right, that'll connect to that, and then we go... Is there a way to reach that? No, there's not. Well, nope. All right, fine. Let's do that, and then that. There we go. Right, so that's everybody. Okay. So let's put our pump here. Pipe. And I'm hoping that will supply everybody with water. Oh, you know what? It doesn't. Because I didn't connect these. Dummy me. there, and then that. So we're gonna have to do something like that, I guess. Okay, so that one's to there. There it is. That one's to there. That one's to there. That one's to there. So water, 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 water. Okay. Everybody looks like it's got water. Looks like everybody's got a flare stack connected. All of those are going to come out. The only thing we're going to add is that. Right? Looks like. Alright, so let us go down here. Alright, so what we're going to run into is that has to keep going for now. And this is why I want my steel production. Because this is slow as hell. It's even worse when we're picking up these buildings. Now, one little trick I have learned over the years is when you're picking these up, if you kind of slot, now it doesn't work so well with these stone ones because they take so long to do, but if you slide your mouse slightly across it as it's picking it up, it seems to decrease the time for some reason. And I don't know why it does it, but it works. It allows me to pick up things faster. So that's why you'll see my mouse kind of moving as I'm doing this. It'll be nice once we have the iron pickaxe, because, or the steel pickaxe, because then it will definitely be a little faster. Would be really nice if we had bots, but like I say, I didn't even know, I didn't even check to look and see if nanobots would work with this mod. It would certainly make things like this a little easier. But I don't know how far down the tech tree we'd have to go to get them. I just screwed myself there. There we go. All right. So let us go up and put these buildings in. And then let us drag. And we're just going to drag it over for now. We're going to reroute it when we rebuild all of that. We're just going to put it right into this for now. Okay, there we go. So there's that. Now we just got to turn it on, see if it works. Looks like it's making. Looks like it's flare stacking. Doesn't look like it's building up. Well, maybe a little bit. We might have to put a second flare stack into each of these. I'm hoping not. definitely fine on the oxygen. Looks like it's the hydrogen gas that's gonna give us a hard time potentially. But it looks like it's all doing just fine. Let's go all the way up here, see how our water situation is. We got water. I mean, it's not staying completely full, but it's definitely, you know, keeping what we need. So I don't think that's a problem. Doesn't look like we're having any problems with oxygen and hydrogen. So there you go, guys. We now have a bit of a better production of slag. Now, this is not going to handle that slag. I can tell you that for right now. I can tell you that right now. This probably will not handle that amount of slag long term. It's going to back up. How are we doing on power? Yeah, we jumped a little. We were at 6, now we're at 11. So that's not so bad. Okay, we can live with that. We can live with that. But yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think this is going to keep up with our slag production, and we're going to have to increase this. But that's what we wanted. We wanted to be able to increase this because we want to increase our mineralized water production. So now, let us get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. All right, throw it away. So that's good to go. Now let's look at this puppy. And let us do that. Now, I don't think we're going to need this part, just the one, or, you know, I think it'll feed 2, we'll see. And I think this will feed 2. But we're going to leave them on there for right now, I think. Great blueprint. And then I think we're going to come up here. And we want to leave enough room for a second set of these, but also so that we can start doing the the geodes. So let's do this. We want to have, say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that's going to give us room to do any of the things that we want to do between these, like run belts or whatever. And then we want enough room between them to be able to do whatever. So let's do 1. Let's do 2. Right? And then that's going to give us 1, 2. Maybe we'll move it up a little bit. Maybe we won't go that far. Maybe we'll do 2. Right, because that was 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And maybe we'll go 1, 2, 4. And then 1, 2. And then 1, 2. We may have to add at the bottom here. Let's do this. Let's delete that one. One, two. Yeah, we're gonna have to add sand regardless. We're gonna have to add sand down at the bottom regardless. That's life. So let's stop crowding ourselves. Got a little bit of room now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So we'll do 4. We'll have to add sand at the bottom for whatever. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. See how much of this we can do. We may run out of pipes. We'll see. And again, maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. These ones are really tough to tile because the outputs are not the same on both sides. So you can't tile these really very well. And that's frustrating as all get out. But I think we kind of adapted and overcame a little bit. As best we could with that. Now, that's probably going to move, but we'll put it there for now. We'll just, for now, build the whole thing. I guess with the exception of the factory, because we really don't have a second one. But that's okay, because that is definitely going to... What do we got going here? Oh. That's why I did that. Trying to figure out what the hell I was doing there, but makes sense now. All right. Krapsky. Okay, we need stone. Luckily, we can grab that, and we can make stone. So while that's doing that, let's put these down. Make sure we have this in the proper orientation. So left and bottom are inputs, top and right are outputs. There we go. Right. Okay. So there we go. So now let us suck this one up. We're just going to leave that water line down there for now. I don't think it's going to be in our way right this second. It's going to take, you know what? It will be. Alright, let's just pick it up. And then we're going to drop this other blueprint off. And that I think will be it for this episode. Is we'll get this other one down and we'll get this production back running, and that's gonna do it for us for this episode, I do believe. We're gonna have to increase our length on our island on the bottom, but we're not going to worry about it right now. We will do that off camera definitely, because yeah, that's what I thought. So if that overlaps, 1, 2, how in the world? Oh, that's why. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we are going to do it right now. I think we have enough stand to do it. We will find out in just a second. Just about. And that's why we're doing this, is to increase our sand production. So there it is. All right, cool. So we don't worry about these two, or these ones for right now, because we don't know exactly where we're going to put them. We do need to plan for that. Let us go ahead and get this one laid down. We're going to combine all of that sand production into one sand production. So I'm not going to worry too much about that part. I want this part running. We can figure out the connections for the exhaust afterwards. Because we got to figure out the water as well. All right, so there to there, there to there. There, there to there. Oops. Steel processing. See, we're almost done with our researches. We might be able to, before we sign off today, start a second batch of research. Oops, come on, Moreland, right keys. Like I say, I yell at myself periodically. Again, make sure these are oriented right. Yep. Get rid of that, we don't need it. All right, so right, like I say, we're going to worry about this part because we're going to combine the two of them. We're going to combine this one, I think. I hope it will supply enough mud for both. We'll see. Get rid of that. How do we... You don't want to do that, because that will really screw us up, won't it? Actually, that goes into there, that goes into there, that goes into there. Right? Right, okay. So then we can go there to there. Right, that one comes up and into that. That one comes up and into that. That one comes up and into that. That one gives us that. Alright, so there's that. So now we need mud. And we need water. Water. There's water. Water. Now we're gonna bring water up there. And that we can sneak up through here. Right? Does that give us water to both of them? Water to both of them. Okay. Get rid of that. There's that. There's that. Right? So then that goes to there. And that one goes to there. Oh. There we go. We may need to add another one of these. We'll see. I don't know. But then we can build our why is it? That's why that is. There we go. Now it's got both sides. Alright, so now we can bring those two together. Alright, there it is. we may have to build more of these to keep up with this now, but that's fine. Now we get it going. All right, guys, there we go. So that has left me room to put in for my geode processing that we're going to be doing later, but we are done with that. So let's go ahead and pick our text real quick, and we'll call it an episode. So we're going to do our yellow belts because we definitely kind of want our yellow belts at some point. Basic soldering is going to give us solder mixture, which is and what have you. So let's do that. Heavy armor I'm not worried about yet. Again, it's not something I need right now. Boiler 2. I think we're okay right now. Steam engine 2. It's just going to give us better power. I don't know that we need it right now. Let's do metallurgy. Metallurgy is going to give us blast furnace and things like that, which we're definitely going to want. Nitrogen processing. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? That first. Then that. Then that. Then that. Nitrogen. You know what? Sure, what the hell. We'll just go right like that for now, okay? And that'll get us our steel axe, make things a little faster. So there we go, guys. We are all set and producing considerably more. And like I said, I knew this wasn't going to keep up with this slag. We are going to expand this, and then that's going to change over to green. So we're probably going to do this expansion here off camera. It will probably move up here somewhere so that we can start doing this a lot more efficiently and a lot more of it. And that will go up here because eventually we will fill this in, and this is where our fuel generation or our power generation will go for the future as far as our algae farms and things like that. So next episode we'll probably have this filled in with sand. We will have this moved up here, and then we'll probably start looking at setting up for our algae processing for green algae. All right, guys, you take care, and I will talk at you later. Bye.